Okay, of all the movies you've done, is there one that that holds a place closer to your heart? 'Cause you've
Yeah,
done a lot.
I know I have. I think you try to take the lessons from every film and you try to grow from them and just be a. You meet so many special people,
hmm
both good and bad.
Yeah,
I don't want to use the word bad, just people you might not hang out with if you didn't have to.
yeah.
So it's always a blessing when you hang out with those great people. But for me personally, I think on a big growing scale, I think 187 was a big transitional film for me in that I got schooled pretty well by Samuel L. Jackson,
Yeah.
which drove me to being sober uh, while I was shooting the film, just because I just wanted to be constantly present with him. I wanted to be constantly like engaged, and I just wanted to learn, and I did. And then that was also a film that I lost my dad in, so it was a
Oh wow.
very there's such a big bonding experience when you have like extreme pain or joy. I mean, I'm thinking when I got nominated for the Emmy, it's sweet, but when you have a loss for some reason, a loss is when something's just gone, and you don't know how to flip that into a positive and learn all those things that come to you as a result of that are positive because you're so blinded by the pain that you feel at the moment.
Yeah.
But then you really learn who's there for you. You know, and Sam was there for me, as was Kevin Reynolds and my entire cast. They're like, come hang out with us on set today.
Wow.
So it was like, my day off from work, and they want me to come hang out with them. And I, of course, wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Crank, High Voltage. You had Star Trek. What was it like working on those two? Obviously, you got Jason Statham here. You've got just the whole legacy of Star Trek, and working with Eric Bana, and you guys had really good chemistry together too.
I love working with Eric, man. I love working with both Jason and Eric. They're both just a blast. And Jason's just, he's a guy's guy. It's like,
Yeah.
you look at his body of work, and he's still so grounded.
Yeah.
It's such a wonderful thing to be with someone like that that's still not jaded, who's still like so down to earth and so accessible and he likes to go out and have fun. So, and you get Mark and Brian, who did the original Crank, and obviously who doesn't want to work with Statham? It's like, I thought that would be so much fun, and I read this, and I looked at the bad guy, El Huron, and there's just some kind of missing for me. Like, I was trying to like find like an essence, like who is this guy? Where's he come? I didn't have a platform to put my feet on, and I told these guys, I said, look, as it is on the page, I'm having a hard time with them. I don't know how to make them memorable right now, and if I can't do that, then I don't want to do you guys a disservice
Yeah.
and be the forgotten guy that plays your main bad guy. Like, I want to be remembered for something. I said, if you guys want me to make memory, you have to take me off the leash. They said, well, we're taking you off the leash. I said, sweet, man. I said, well, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm going to start with Elvis Presley, 68 to 71 circa. I don't know why. I'll call you in a week. And that was it, man. It just escalated from there. It took me like to this whole gamut of different things. So it was really a joy. In all honesty, it's probably the most fun I've had in a long time. It's something in the case of like IL from Star Trek, where I really didn't have great reference materials. I mean, you can't really go back to the old Star Trek movies and try to reference this because this is a whole nother. This is a J.J. Abrams Star Trek.
Yeah. Yeah.
The reality's amped up and everything's much more to date and modern and very possible. Whereas you watch these Star Trek movies, as I tried to do, it's just something that happens when Kirstie Alley turns to you with her ears and says, "Yes, Captain," where you just kind of get pulled out of it.
She was kind of hot though.
She was totally hot.
Dude.
That's not my argument. I'm right here with you, pal. She was smoking.
I was worried there.
Well, I like that part, but how do you get past it? You keep rewinding Kirstie over and over. Yes, Captain. Yes, Captain. Yes, Captain. He's like, whoa.
And then you're like in the back room and it's
And you're out. You got your hands on the Wesson oil, and you're just like going to town with Mr. Johnson, and it's just not a pretty sight. And it gets all over the floor. Your friends slip. It's messy.
Yeah.
So I had to. I deferred to JJ. I said, I got to call JJ, and JJ gave me everything I needed for these characters, and it's like, I've never been to outer space. I don't know anybody who's been outer space. I don't know a lot of things about this. So, but he gave me some basic elements that gave me more than enough to go on.
Okay.
So, you can rest assured on anything that JJ gives you, pretty much.
Did you have a game plan for your career, or were you just like like now you're in Star Trek now, and this thing's gonna be huge.
Honestly, I just follow my heart, man. It's like my managers and agents. A lot of times they help me follow the bank account, which is very taxing on my soul personally.
Yeah.
I have to have a rhyme or reason. Something like The Horseman. I was able to work with something like Jonas Ackerlund, which is a sheer joy. Like I literally wanted to work with Jonas Ackerlund.
Yeah.
So, and I had problems with the character. I had problems with a lot of things in the piece. But all the other films, I generally love every single character I play because I'm passionate about them.
Yeah.
So I follow my heart. And in the case of Extract, I love Step. I play Step.
Such a good character, dude.
And initially I passed on it because I was just overthinking. I was like, how do I make this funny? How do I be funny in this? And that's exactly what it was. It was all I needed was to be, funny, because Mike Judge created the world. It's his world. And if you watch, anything Beavis and Butthead to King of the Hill or Office Space, it's all like situational states of being, things like that. Like, it's not about the shtick or so much the timing of the joke, although timing is very important in comedy. In this particular case, I realized after a week of thinking about it, it's like, I just need to kick back a little. I'm like overthinking. I'm like overshooting my goal. The goal's here, and you got Mike Judge at the helm. It's pretty fucking hilarious.
What's your favorite impression? Do an impression.
Oh, you can't put me on the spot
yes,
like
I
that.
am. I'm going to.
No, totally. I can get in trouble for it.
Do it! Do it! You got 1 minute.
God.
Do it quick.
Oh, God. It's a story.
Story.
It's a story. Val Kilmer picked me up early one morning. I heard my name being yelled out the window. Clifton! Clifton! I don't know why, but he likes to use some kind of off Jamaican accent. He's driving like a madman. Just boom, 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 down Franklin. I'm like, whoa. I put on my seatbelt. He goes, does my driving scare you, Clifton? And I said, yeah, you're not Batman. You just played him in a movie. He's like, he's a little femme, and he's brilliant and a genius, and I love hanging out with him and working with him. We get pulled over by cops. I'm like, oh my God, please, Doc Holliday, because they look like two big cowboys, big old mustaches, poker faces the whole way. They come up, they do the old roll the window down sign. He rolls it down, and he goes, sir, do you know that you were speeding? And then Val says, yeah, for a reason. I was like, oh man. Cops are like, sir, have you been drinking today? No, sir, I have not. Mimosas! I was like, oh man. And they let us go with the warning. But I in hindsight, I mean, as soon as I left her, he's just so brilliant and so funny and so much fun to be around and fun to work with. Like, I love Val. He's a great guy.